All right, Wolfpack, Wednesday. We got some more touch and go power snatch. So this is basically the same EMOM as last Wednesday's. We've just added one additional set or minute per rep count. So last week it was only 5 minutes. We did 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're just going to spend 2 minutes at the same rep counts. So 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, all the way up to 1, just to get a little bit more volume in these touch and go motions for these rep counts. So your goal, if you were here last Wednesday, is to try to match these exact same numbers here, depending on if they were challenging for that rep count, and do them again today or tomorrow and Wednesday. That way we're getting one additional set per rep count. Okay, we'll progress it that way, overall volume. If you went too light last week and you know you can make weight jumps or you know you can add a little bit of weight, go ahead and add weight to this, but we should still be focusing on the touch and go form where all of these are very smooth, very efficient, right? We're not having to overexert a ton, until we get to these final couple barbells where it's heavier. But the 5, 4, 3 definitely should still be very movable, right? Very comfortable. You can focus on breathing, right? Perfect, efficient form. We're going to do 2 sets at each, okay? And then when the clock hits 10, we're going to do another AMRAP, just 60 seconds. Last week was 1 to 2 sets. We're just going to do 1 set here since we got some extra work here. And then you're going to use somewhere around the weight that you hit for 4. And if we matched our weights on the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 from last week, this will be an increase from last week since it was 5. So goal of this would be to do a little bit heavier weight than we did last week. So if you're here last week and these numbers get kind of jumbled up, that's fine. Just try to do a little bit heavier on the AMRAP. If you weren't here, then just use a weight that's somewhere around 4. And I think a good goal, like last week, I think a good goal for the power snatches was around 10. We doubled the 5, so with a little bit heavier weight, maybe we were looking for somewhere around 6 to 8 reps. Definitely more than the 4 that we got in the minute. You can single these out, or you can work on some touch and go for shorter reps, 2s or 3s or something like that. But should be a little bit heavier than last week. Okay. So that'll be good. And then we've got 2 6-minute AMRAPs with a little rest in between. These are going to be pretty intense and they're kind of jam-packed. But as long as we choose the appropriate weight for our overhead squats and the correct pull-up motion, we should get to the AMRAP section with a good amount of time, a good chunk of time, and be able to get a bunch of reps. So got overhead squats, 30 reps. Make sure this is a very light barbell for you. Should be something that you can move probably the 30 overhead squats in 2 to 3 sets maximum. Realistically closer to 2, but if we're saving ourselves for the gymnastics a little bit, I think breaking this up into like a 12-10-8 or a 10-10-10 is not a bad idea. Saves your shoulder, saves your heart rate in midline a little bit. You're going to need that on the chest to bars in the middle section. So a movable weight, something that's not super overly heavy, but you could do big sets, but you don't necessarily have to. It should be quick reps. Get through your overhead squats, dump the barbell, rest with it off of the body, pick it back up, and go back into the next one. Okay. We have been kind of introducing chest to bars, so it's a good opportunity to work on some chest to bar volume today. I've got 20 of them here. If we want to make sure we get through these in kind of a timely fashion to where we have time for the wall balls, I'd say we probably got to do at least 6 to 8 a minute, so we're getting these done in 2.5 minutes or so. That gives us a minute and a half here. Call it 2 minutes. So we're looking at 3.5, 4 minutes on those, and we get a couple minutes on the wall balls, and that's pretty appropriate. So just make sure it's something that we can get through. Like I said, 6 to 8 per minute, and we should be off to a decent start. Okay. Wall ball weight, just choose something that you can rep out, probably a minimum of 10 to start. Since we only have a couple minutes, right? We want to be able to get at least 20 to 30 here, if not more. If we have a couple minutes, probably looking for maybe 30 to 40 total. But movable ball weight, something that we're not doing 5s at, like 10 plus maybe on the first set. 2-minute rest, and then we just go backwards. Same ball weight, 30, 20, and then we're just going to AMRAP the overhead squat at the end. So fun little back and forth. It is a tight time cap, so it is meant to be very intense and moving pretty quick. So make sure we choose appropriate weights, we choose an appropriate movement so that we can get to the AMRAP and have a couple minutes to work there, and we should be good to go. Other than that, pretty simple workout. Have a great Wednesday, great hump day. See you in the gym. Toodles.